What's up, guys? Justin here with the SketchUpEssentials.com. So as a lot of you might have seen, Anthropic rolled out their newest model yesterday, and it's supposed to be significantly more powerful than the models we've been using. So I thought, why not use it to test out creating models in SketchUp? Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so Fable 5 is a new model that just came out for general use for the public. It's basically a version of the Claude Mythos model. And so what makes Mythos so powerful is the reasoning abilities that it has makes it very good at cybersecurity tasks. So up to this point, this model hasn't been released to the general public because if it's really good at cybersecurity, it's also probably good at exploiting vulnerabilities. So they've wanted to make sure they build good safeguards around it. And so they have a version now that's come out that has those safeguards built in, but still allows us to use it for general tasks. And I'm not going to get like way in depth on the statistics, but it's performing better in a lot of benchmark categories, which makes it a great candidate for us to use it inside of Claude to create SketchUp models. One other thing that's worth noting is they say a little bit further down on the page that this is going to be available for Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise plans through June 22nd. And then at that point, it's going to go away for a while and it's going to become usage credit based only. And then they're going to try to bring it back as soon as possible into the standard part of subscription plans. So this is something where as they bring more computing capacity online, it's something that's intended to be rolled into those general plans. But this could be considered something like a preview. So just kind of a heads up, this might go away for a while they figure out how to get the compute in place to make it a part of the regular plans. So around the 22nd, it's probably going to go away for a bit. They've been pretty upfront about that. So just kind of heads up that this could be considered kind of an early access or a preview. Okay, and so what I wanted to do is I wanted to test this in two areas. So the first is a simple creation of furniture. The second one is a much better test of the different abilities of the model. So stick around to that one because I think you're going to find it really helpful. But the first one, what I did is I took an image of a furniture model and I put it in, and I started by using Claude Opus, which is the previous best version, and using the SketchUp MCP connection in order to create a model. And so I gave it very simple instructions. I didn't get too complex, and I just said, I'd like you to create a 3D model of this sofa in SketchUp. Please ask me any questions that you need to do so accurately. It asked me a couple questions about like how to handle the dimensions and also what level of detail that I wanted. And I made sure to keep it uniform across the different tests so that everything was apples to apples. Okay, and so Opus went through and it created a version of this sofa, right? And you can tell just by looking at it that it's pretty simplistic, right? It's got like cylinders on the side for the arms that are kind of rounded off, but it did a fairly decent job of creating something kind of like this sofa, but it doesn't really match, right? And so if we look at it in SketchUp, it looks something like this. So I think it did a pretty good job on these sofa cushions right here. Sometimes I feel like it's better to look at the hidden geometry in here because it can give you an idea of how this is created. I don't love the way that it created the arms right here and how they're still kind of intersecting with the model over here. So it's definitely a very simplified version of this sofa, but it's definitely functional if you want something that looks kind of close. So next up, I went in and I did the same thing with Fable. And I gave it the exact same inputs, right? I'd like to create a 3D model of this sofa in SketchUp. Please ask me any questions you need to do this accurately. And it asked me generally the same questions, right? How do we handle dimensions? How detailed should everything be? How do you want me to handle things like the frame, the cushions, the legs, that kind of thing. And so then I ran this one. Okay, and so you can't see it now because I can't click on this and see all of the reasoning that it went through, but this did a lot more behind the scenes of kind of thinking through this, and we'll see this even more in the next example. But this came back and it gave me a version of the sofa that I felt like was more detailed. Okay, and so this is the first version of that Fable model right here. And so if you look at the Fable model here, it did a much better job of creating the sofa arms over here as actual like combined shapes, right? Instead of having a circle over here sitting on top of this, it actually created arms that look like the arms of the sofa. It did a pretty decent job with the cushions. So I like the cushions better here, especially on the back. There's more of like a bulge to them. Now there's a couple areas actually where I felt like Opus did a better job. And so that's in like beveling off edges and things like that, right? So if you look at the back of the sofa, the Opus version actually kind of beveled these edges where it left these as kind of sharp corners, which don't necessarily look as good. But overall, I do feel like this is a better version of this model. Now, where this gets more interesting though is when you're iterating, because I looked at this and I don't see it now, but I remember seeing it said something about the number of polygons inside of it. And so I came back and I said, okay, assuming you had a higher polygon cap, right? So assuming you had a cap of 10 to 20,000 polygons or something like that, could you create a more realistic version of this sofa? And so when I asked it that, it went back through and it said, hey, these are some things I could do to make this more realistic. And I said, yeah, go ahead and do that. And if you look at this, so there's a lot more reasoning going on behind the scenes, right? So this is really thinking through kind of what the implications of what it's doing are. So there's a lot of reasoning behind the scenes. And so when it was done, it gave me a revised version that looks something like this. And so looking at this, you can see that this is significantly better, right? So it's gone through and it's added a taper to the rear of the arm, right? It's added rounding off of the front face right here. The cushions are much more detailed as well. Like this is a model that I could definitely see myself actually using. Like I'm not looking at it and saying, oh, this is good enough. Like this actually looks like it was intentionally created. Now there's a few things in here that could use some additional bevel or things like that. But overall, like this is significantly better, like a huge step up even from the first thing Fable created over here. And so just to make sure I was being fair, I asked for the same thing from Opus, and Opus went back and it gave me this, which is an interesting try. It tried to add like the piping on the sofa cushions and things like that, but this comes back looking like a completely different version of this sofa, right? Like the one that Opus came back when I went through the same exercise was nowhere near the one that Fable created, just from like matching the image standpoint. Like this was significantly better. Now I did go through some additional iterations with this just to see how far along I could get it, and it definitely wasn't perfect, right? So if I do a edit, unhide all right here, so I asked it to add even more detail in here, and what it did do that I liked is it did a better job even than before on the arms of the sofa, but I didn't really love what it did with the cushions. And so what I ended up with is I took a version of this where I took the external detail of the more detailed version from Fable, and then the cushions from the original one, and got to something like this. And this, I think, is a really good approximation of what that sofa is, like significantly better than what Opus was able to create. So for something like furniture, it definitely did a better job. The next test though was where Fable really shined. Okay, and so ironically enough, leading up to this video, I was actually creating another video talking about how just the Claude MCP model in general has gotten better at basically generating floor plans, because there's skills that SketchUp has added that it now calls so that it understands how to create models in SketchUp, right? They're instructions basically that say like, okay, two solid objects can't occupy the same space. So you need to make sure that you're splitting objects off so that you don't have like overlapping objects. Other rules like that have been rolled into all of these models that make the MCP even better. And so this was going to be the final image that I tested Opus on, just to see if it could do it, right? This is a very complex model with a bunch of different dimensions on it. It requires a whole bunch of looking at overall spaces and then figuring out gaps and doing reasoning in order to figure it out, right? And so I started off feeding this into Opus in order to see what it could do. And so there was a little bit of back and forth, right? So Opus kind of built this like step by step. So it asked me some questions and would go back and build more. And then I gave it a revised floor plan, which is the one you just saw, where the dimensions are a different color than the walls. And it went through and it built this model based on that floor plan. And so if we pull that up, it looked something like this, right? And this was after a couple iterations. And so you can see like it got the general look of the floor plan in here properly, but there's a bunch of things missing. And so if you look at it, for example, it doesn't have the openings into these little closet spaces, which granted I did leave a door off of, but it didn't leave any kind of openings here. It didn't put any kind of doors in them. It didn't actually draw the wall across here. Same thing with the closets, right? It didn't really recognize that these were closets and then add the opening over the top. And it also didn't finish off a lot of the corners, right? So this model from Opus looks fairly incomplete. I mean, it kind of gets you close, but I would spend so much time remodeling it that it's probably better that I just didn't do anything with it at all and just kind of modeled it out manually. But I mean, it was a good effort for a complex image, right? It also had some doors in the wrong spot. Like for some reason it put a door over here when this door should be over here, right? So it put some things in places where it shouldn't have, and it left some things out that it shouldn't have, right? So next up, I fed it into Fable. Remember, what's beneficial about Fable is the way that it reasons behind the scenes, right? Like it does a lot more thinking behind the scenes. And so one of the things that you should always tell this is when you're creating a model, you need to make sure that you're using the dimension shown on the sheet instead of sampling the pixels. And I asked Opus for this as well. So that's just something that's really important in general, because otherwise it'll try to sample the pixels and your images will be close, but they won't actually be to the dimensions, right? Well, if you look at this, right, if you look at the way that it reasoned in here, so first off, it came back with questions for me, right? Like, do I model the overhead door? Do I include the garage and the floor slab like separately or just as a single slab? And then it went through and it looked at everything. And if you look at the way that it reasoned through this, like it looked at different parts and pieces and found like discrepancies in labels versus gaps. And it found like, okay, I have these dimension chains in here. They need to add up to a total so that we know that this is actually accurate. So it did a lot of that behind the scenes, right? It's doing a whole bunch of checking and thinking and things like that. This definitely took longer than Opus did, but that's because it did a whole lot of like reasoning behind the scenes, right? Fable does a lot of reasoning before it does things, which leads to a better result. And then when we're done, it gave me this model right here. And so when I was done, it gave me this model right here. And the first thing you notice, even like looking at it, is the corners are all complete. In here, we've got doors in the openings. The windows actually match the number of panes that are shown over here. So like it actually went through and it recognized everything in this model and it figured it out. And if you look at it, like this matches the floor plan very closely, right? You've got your doors into your spaces right here. It left the gaps in here without doors in them, which is exactly what I drew in these closet spaces. It has the bath door. It has these doors over here. Like everything is in place. And in general, and we can just spot check a couple measurements, but the measurements are all pretty accurate. So like, for example, this is 12 foot 11. This is 12 foot 11, right? Like this wall over here should be 12 foot 4 from one wall to the other wall. It's 12 foot 4. So we should have a 5-inch gap. That 5-inch gap is going to be to here, but you can see that that's actually 5 inches, right? Your doors are the right size, like everything is in here. And for the most part, the dimensions match, right? So this one's off by a little bit. It's off by about a 1/2 inch. So this one over here is also off by about 3/8 of an inch, right? I have it listed as 4 feet and it's got it in there as 4 3/8. So, I mean, it's still off a little bit from a measurement standpoint, but it's like minor things. And this is something to be aware of. This is not at a point where this is 100% accurate. But I mean, you're very close, right? We're off by like 3/8 of an inch over here. So we're mildly off on a couple of the walls, but it picked up the overall structure of the building, the overall length, significantly better as it's going. So if we measure the overall right here, these dimensions all match. So we've got a few things that are off by less than an inch. But overall, I mean, it put closet doors inside of the closets. Like it actually found where everything goes and put things in those locations, as well as modeling out the garage door. So it's significantly better, in my opinion, than Opus at doing things like creating floor plans. Overall, a couple thoughts on this. First off, this is not something that you're going to use for every single modeling task. Like the amount of tokens that this uses is fairly ridiculous. Like it's at least twice what Opus is, if not more. And it also sits and thinks for longer. I'm on the max plan, and in the max plan, I used 30% of my, no, I used 40% of my 4-hour usage just going through and creating those sofa models. And that was like a sofa plus 2 or 3 iterations. So it burns through tokens fast. If you're on anything less than a max plan, I would suspect that you're going to hit your limits really quickly. So it's not something we're going to use for everyday, like modeling everything. Like that sofa, for example, I would probably just stick with Opus if I was trying to get something close. There's really just not a whole lot of reason for me to burn that many tokens on there. Though if you're on the max plan, you could probably do something like that. But for everyone that has a lower level plan, I would suspect that you're going to go through those tokens really quickly. Where this really shines, in my opinion, is places where it needs to do more advanced reasoning. So the floor plan is actually a perfect example of this because it's having to go through and figure out like, okay, the overall width of a room is this, and then the door width is this, and then the gap is this. And so does this make sense, right? It's doing the verification and things like that. I think it's significantly better at that, or at least it was in this test. So those are the areas where I would use this as something where it needs to do a whole bunch of like thinking and reasoning. But doing the actual like image modeling, creation of models from photos, it kind of depends on what plan you're on, but you are going to go through a lot of tokens. But I will say the reasoning ability on it is next level. Like it definitely goes way more in depth in the way that it thinks and considers things before it takes action. And that leads to results like the ones we saw in the floor plan where you get a significantly better result. So this is something I'm going to keep testing in the future, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you think about this tool? Have you been testing any of it? I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.